There are two dinosaur survival games that I've put a significant amount of time into: The Isle and Path of Titans. Both games have some similarities, along with many differences, but whenever I find myself putting down Path of Titans to play The Isle again, there is one particular feature that I miss more than anything else: character selection. To do a quick rundown of definitions, in the context of these games, character selection is the ability to save multiple playables on one server. It's effectively save slots. In Path of Titans, it functions fairly simply. When you log into a server, you are greeted by a character selection screen where you can choose to grow a new dinosaur or play as a dinosaur that you grew previously. These saves are tied to that server in particular and can only be accessed on servers that are linked together. When you log out of a server, it will first send you to the character selection screen, where you can select something else to play or go back to the main menu. The Isle does not have character selection. When you log into a server, you're either greeted with the spawn screen, where you can start growing a new playable, or you're playing as whatever you were playing last time you were on that server. You have exactly one save slot on any given server, and the only way to free this slot is to kill whatever is taking it up. This presents a number of issues. Growing a dinosaur in the Isle is a significant time investment. The smaller playables take 30 minutes to an hour to grow, and larger playables take 5+ hours to grow. If, for example, I were to grow a stego on a server, I am effectively locked out of playing on that server unless I feel like playing stego in particular. If I really want to play on that server as a different playable, say with a friend for example, my only option is to chuck that stego off a cliff, throwing away 5+ hours of growth. Needless to say, this isn't fun. It doesn't feel good to throw away something that you invested a decent amount of time into. It's annoying when I want to play with friends, but we all have to check which server we have what in, and inevitably someone will draw a short straw and have to throw away a dino so that we can all play together. This is an issue that is entirely absent in Path of Titans. Hold on, you might say. The Isle doesn't have character selection for a reason. We have multiple official servers, so you can just use them like save slots. It's a hardcore survival game, unlike Path of Titans, and character selection would cheapen this aspect of the game. If people had save slots, then whenever you kill someone, you have to worry about them hopping on an apex they've got stored and running in to get revenge on you while you're still healing. That isn't fair at all. And what if someone just saved up 10 Rexes, just goes on a rampage killing everything and hopping on their other Rexes whenever they die? Most of these are valid concerns. First, the multiple servers argument only applies to officials, and even then, I have already presented the problem with this system. On top of that, a single unofficial server community can't have 10 different servers active to act as save slots. That's just completely unfeasible. Second, I don't believe character selection would make the Isle any less of a hardcore survival game. Permadeath alone accomplishes this factor. Third, I would argue that concerns over revenge killings or hoarding powerful playables can be solved rather easily by putting some simple limitations on character selection. So, what would I want character selection to look like in the Isle? To start off, it would have the simple functionality that Path of Titans character selection has. When you log in, you are met with a character selection screen, where you can choose to start growing something new, or hop back on something you grew earlier. Just simple, easy, effective. Gets the job done. Now onto limitations. First, you can only have one of any playable saved on a server. That's right, no saving up 5 Rexes or 10 Allos, etc. You get one of any single playable, and if that thing dies, you are forced to grow a new one if you want to play as an adult of that playable. Second, if you want to select a different playable after dying or returning to the character selection screen from logging out of a playable, you must wait 30 minutes to select another save slot. That is, unless you want to delete that character and start over as a fresh spawn. To reiterate, you can only save one individual of any given playable. Upon death or logging out into the character selection screen, you can only select to be a fresh spawn of anything for 30 minutes. Choosing to be a fresh spawn of something you already have saved effectively overwrites it. Once the 30 minutes is up, you're allowed to select grown characters again. Now, these conditions might sound oppressive, and that's because they are. But in the grand scheme of things, even this very punitive system is a vast improvement from the current system. Would you rather throw away hours to start growing a new playable, or just wait 30 minutes to select something else? Anyone with a brain will choose the latter. I believe that these conditions would solve the issue of people abusing the character selection mechanic. And let's be honest, if someone really wants to revenge kill or save multiple of a single playable, they'll just use alt accounts like many people already do, and there's nothing that can be done to stop that. Not implementing this mechanic because of these people would just rob everyone of a great quality of life feature to spite people who have already circumvented it. The inspiration for this video actually comes from a few months ago when me and my friends got into Path of Titans for a while, when the Isle was in a bad state early in the year. I noticed how we could all just hop on and have a great time easily because of the character selection. If we wanted to play as Rex, we'd hop on or grow a Rex. If we wanted to play Iguanodon, we'd just hop on or grow an Iggy, etc., etc. There was no lamenting that we'd have to kill off a dinosaur to grow a new one. There was no concern that after the one session where we grew something, that playable would be thrown away when we felt like playing something else the next day. And it was when we returned to the Isle that it really hit home how much the absence of this feature can sap one's will to play the game. All of the server hopping, throwing away perfectly good playables just to play for one day, and then we want to do something else, we throw away that one too. The annoyance and stress of dealing with it all, as opposed to the simplicity of character selection. I have to say, this is my true opinion right here, no exaggeration, this one feature could be the greatest quality of life addition this game has ever seen. If it were implemented, we'd look back to the dark days before it with awe that we were ever satisfied with anything less. If you have any further thoughts on this topic, feel free to comment down below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.